Have you ever thought about maybe taking the summer to travel with the family? Rent an RV, borrow an RV, travel around the country and work, right? All this work from home stuff. You get Starlink, you're doing this, you're doing that. Wouldn't it be great to do it? Well, you know what? Mr. Stratton Brown is doing it right now, running multiple businesses, and we're going to ask him, what's he think? Is it all cracked up to be? Mr. Stratton Brown, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Mike.
So first question, where the hell are you in the country today?
I am somewhere in the middle of Oregon. I was in Mexico last week.
Oh, wow.
And then we went from, if this is a map, we went from Salt Lake through Nevada, up into Northern California to the coast, up the coast of Oregon into Roseburg, up to
Wow.
Portland, and then now I'm going back down in Salt Lake.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you've been on the road for 45 days? I have no idea.
I have no idea. I
It's
just,
been a while.
yeah, I mean, because it's the summertime and really nothing,
Yeah.
days don't really matter to me, right?
Yeah.
Like every day is kind of the same.
Yeah.
And then I don't have anywhere to be. And so
Well, so that sounds like
over a
fun.
month.
And you are traveling with your significant other and your son, right?
So no, my son is with his mom. That's why we
Okay.
did it, right? Because he's with me all year long, and then he goes with his mom's in the summers.
Ah, flips. Okay, got it. All
Yeah,
right.
and then Kalani actually is going to one of our storage facilities, and I'm taking this thing back.
Okay.
And so Kalani is going to go. We have to go make sure our rehab's going the right way, and so she's going to go
Nice.
do that. I'm the only one who can drive the trailer, and so
Okay.
I'm taking this trailer back, and then I'll head back out there. I got me, Dean, and Jason got to go to LA next week, and then go to Dallas like the week after that.
Wow, you guys are doing some big things together. It's very cool. So how was it? I mean, a lot of people dream of just jumping in an RV, renting an RV, borrowing an RV, but still doing the day job. Is it proved to be all it's sold as?
It's been awesome, but if I would do it again, I would just wouldn't work. I would have like found a way to build up the
Ah,
business good enough
okay.
to just not work, or if I am working, it's like an hour a day.
Okay.
Because like I wanted to do like go out and enjoy a national park. You don't have service in a national park.
Yeah,
And
no, you
most of
don't
my
know.
yeah, right. And my
Yeah.
job is not like computer work. My job is like on the phone,
Talking. Yeah.
leading people or talking and doing deals. And so that made it really hard to
Okay.
where like we were on like the Klamath River, and then I generally just don't leave my trailer till like 4. Like I'll wake up, go
Oh,
on like a walk in the morning, and then I
sure.
won't leave my trailer on the floor because like I still have meetings. I'm leading a sales team, and so
Right.
it's a little bit different, right? To where
Okay.
I found that interesting, and then what else? It's hard to get a routine back, and even though some people shit on routines,
Yeah.
having some type of routine that you're used to, like it takes you a while to get into a rhythm. I don't know how
Right.
you did stuff traveling 300 days a year. Like
Yeah.
it would be so brutal. At least like you got up and you'd go when you'd have to go do a thing. Like, all
Yeah.
right, we're here to talk to this client. We're gonna close this deal.
Right. Yeah. The city was different. It's funny. People ask me how many cities you've been to, and I always have to declare I've been to lots of places, but I've been to very few, if that makes sense. Does an airport, a freeway, a
Exactly.
hotel, does that count? For most people, it doesn't count. So, yeah, it was. I do not wish to go back. I think my life's much better now. I'm happy with what I got now. But so you still like it? You still like driving an RV and camping and not really having a schedule? That you would do this again?
I do it again. Like I said, if our companies were, they'd have to be significantly larger to where I wasn't involved a lot in the day to day.
Okay. All right. So
Right.
you'd have to
Because I
have the
mean,
infrastructure and the team
you'd
to
have
kind
to
of
have a
hand the
lot more
keys.
infrastructure of team. And everybody says, like, yeah, you can step out of the business at a certain point, but like depending on what you're trying to do and like how big the company is supposed to be, you can't really step out for a month. A
Yeah.
month is a lot, like
Yeah.
a month is a long time.
A lot of stuff can go
Where,
sideways in a month.
yeah, a lot of stuff can go sideways in a month. I mean, if you have a bad week, I mean, that throws off your month altogether, revenue wise.
Yeah.
And so I'd do it again. I would, believe it or not, probably plan it out more because all I did is I left and I just call do RV spot when I wanted to leave.
Hmm.
So like
Okay.
we'd be in Klamath, and then one day we were just like, yeah, we want to go to the next place. And so we just called around a bunch of different RV parks.
Okay. Working
But
good
then you
spot.
can't get good like on the water spots unless you call like a year in advance. It's kind of crazy.
Okay.
Right. Cause like we were on the Oregon coast, on the Northern California coast, and all of the good RV spots, people call a year in advance to reserve those, like on the beach.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, we'd be on the beach, but we were like way back there.
The
But
other
it
thing
was
that
really fun seeing everything.
yeah, so the other thing I hadn't even thought about this, but it just came to me. Some of these RVs, like when you're there meeting people, some of these RVs could be $1 million.
Oh, dude. Luckily, so I borrowed mine from my parents. They haven't used it in 7 years. I've probably dropped in like 6 grand into this thing
Mm-hmm.
from like I'll be traveling and then something would break and I'd have to fix it. Like our fridge went out on the 4th of July.
Oh, whoops.
We were in Crescent City and we couldn't see any fireworks because it was so overcast.
Oh,
And
wow.
so we went grocery shopping. We come home, our fridge was down. All of our groceries went bad.
Oh, no.
Right. And so then I had the next day, I went and I bought like 4 different coolers. And then my girlfriend's like, why are you buying coolers? Just buy a mini fridge. And so let's see. If you can see right there, I have
There you
a
go.
mini
Yeah.
fridge strapped to 4 different things because I'm traveling, but we had to go buy a mini fridge.
That's funny. Yeah. So, yeah. So, but I mean, you probably, I mean, do you, when you're there, are you actually meeting people or is it just you and Kalani, together or like you socializing with other people park?
Not really socializing with other people in the park.
Okay.
My favorite stop was Roseburg. I don't know if you know the company Investor Carrot.
Oh, yeah. I
Um,
know Investor Carrot. Yeah.
so I got to stop with the CEO of Investor Carrot, and we were with
Oh,
him for
wow.
like 4 days, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
So I networking there. Did we stop and really network with anyone else? Roseburg was like the big one. Nothing in Northern California. If we would have gone to Spokane, I have a bunch of different investor friends in Spokane that I was stopped and saw. But
Yeah.
like we went in Portland, we went to like a pride parade. I'd never
Mm.
been to a pride parade before. So we went and walked around the city, saw everything else that was going on. But we met a guy from Fresno actually who was a teacher at one of our RV parks. We were just walking
Mm.
around. He had this big drone. But you're
Mm.
not really networking. But yeah, some of
Okay.
these things, if you want like a good one, a fifth wheel is like 200 grand, like a good one.
Wow.
And then though we were looking at the motorhomes. Those motorhomes are like $1 million minimum. It's
Yeah. I mean,
kind of
I've
crazy.
seen, I've seen some motorhomes we did an event in Reno years ago and in Reno, there's a whole section where they park their RVs and 1.2, 1.4,
Yeah,
just crazy, crazy expensive. So I don't know. I was shocked. Maybe I shouldn't have been, but I was like, man, this is more expensive than my house.
right. I mean, you could get $1 million house.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But it was fun. I definitely wouldn't live in a trailer.
Okay.
Not enough space. And like I'd plan to have like if I did it again, I would more than likely go spend like $500,000 and get the best fifth wheel, get a
Okay.
really good truck.
Yeah.
And the reason I want to get a good fifth wheel so I could have like an office space.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
right now I'm just kind of sitting at like the kitchen table and
Yeah.
there's nowhere else really to work.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
so when I have to work and Kalani has to work and we're both on the phone, someone has to go outside.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, what was the coolest experience? You see anything? Did
What
you
was
see
the
anything
coolest
cool? Like
experience?
got some cool pictures or anything?
Crater Lake was really cool.
Okay.
Um, Roseburg really was my favorite stop. They had a luckily we went in and they had a car show of 1,000 old cars.
Oh,
So like
wow.
1,000 like old school cars would drive through the town.
Oh,
And
like a
so
parade. Yeah.
like a parade. And shout out Trevor Mock. He was like, yeah, come through Roseburg, we'll do some stuff. When we got there, he got us set up with a whitewater rafting trip. And then after that whitewater rafting trip, we went to the parade, got a tour of his office, and then yeah, it was really fun. The parade was crazy. We went and got some good food. The RV park was nice.
Nice.
And then the day after that, we went and saw like 4 different waterfalls, went up to Crater Lake. And so I'd say
Okay.
Roseburg, the place that you've never heard of,
Yeah, I don't even
was
know where
really nice.
Roseburg is, actually.
And
Where is
then
that?
Klamath River was fun.
Where is Roseburg?
Roseburg
What state is it in?
it's in Oregon,
Okay.
and
There you
it's
go.
I'd say at the bottom middle of Oregon.
Okay. All right. So I was at Grants Path, Oregon on my 18th birthday back when I challenged my mom to like, okay, I'm 18, I'm going to Oregon. She's like, bye. I'm like, what? Oh, I guess I'm going now. That was a funny thing. Anyways. So again, traveling, I don't know. Would you say it's a good experience? Just would set it up where you don't work.
I would want to enjoy it more,
Okay.
right? To where if I did it, just like no work, called an actual vacation. Because I didn't I didn't want to go into the redwoods because I was like, I won't be able to do anything.
Yeah.
Right. To where that would be the hard part. So if I did it again, maybe I just do it in week spurts. I'm
Okay.
not good enough as an entrepreneur yet to take off months at a time.
Yeah. I get it. Okay. All right. Well, very, very cool. Well, how can people follow you? Because again, you're putting out a lot of amazing stuff wherever they follow you.
On Instagram at Strat Daddy. My YouTube, I believe, is Strat Daddy as well.
Awesome. Thank you, buddy.